You could tell he was on edge. His hands were shaking in the courtroom, and he even admitted to feeling nervous during his testimony.
You could tell he was nervous, and he said it in the courtroom. I saw like his hands shaking a bit.
I caught it myself, and then new surveillance footage dropped, showing Diddy walking into Kim Porter's room just hours before she passed. This video is shaking things up, giving us a clearer look at what might have gone down that night. It's a curveball that neither Diddy nor the prosecutors saw coming. Let me break it down for you. This is a wild turn with some jaw-dropping allegations and courtroom moments. For anyone who might not know, Kim Porter was Diddy's ex and the mother of 3 of his kids. Their relationship, stretching from 1994 to 2007, had its fair share of highs and lows. Officially, Kim's death in 2018 was pinned on lobar pneumonia, labeled natural by the Los Angeles County Coroner's Office. But here's where it gets messy. For years, people have been whispering about what really happened, with some pointing fingers at foul play. Now, with Diddy caught up in legal drama over accusations of abuse, trafficking, and more, those whispers are turning into shouts. The Coroner's Office put out their report on January 25th, 2019, stating Kim died of lobar pneumonia, calling it a natural death. That's the official line, but not everyone's convinced. People close to her have shared different stories over time. Al B. Sure, Kim's ex-husband and the father of her son Quincy, has been one of the loudest voices. In a May 2025 interview with Fox 5 New York, he cast doubt on the official story, saying, "She was in top shape. We just hung out before she passed, celebrating our son's new Netflix Christmas special. She seemed perfectly healthy." Think about it. If someone told you a healthy friend just died of pneumonia out of nowhere, wouldn't you have questions? It's like hearing a marathon runner keeled over from exhaustion while lounging on their couch the next day. It doesn't add up. Then there's Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard, who's been raising red flags too. He said the investigation into Kim's death felt rushed, like they didn't dig deep enough. He's questioned how someone with her money and connections couldn't get in touch with family or friends if she was in trouble. Deal even hinted at something darker, saying, "I don't want to put it all out there, but I think it might have been a fight or some play fighting that went too far. Maybe that pillow fighting stuff Diddy does got out of hand." That's heavy stuff. When someone who was that close to Diddy, like his bodyguard, starts dropping hints like that, it's like Alfred spilling Batman's darkest secrets. It hits different coming from an insider. Things get even crazier with rumors about a mystery person at Kim's house the day she died. A photo that resurfaced supposedly shows Corey Gamble, Kris Jenner's boyfriend, at Kim's place before the coroner showed up. This has sparked all sorts of theories about what he was doing there and his ties to Hollywood's inner circle. Social media has been buzzing with people calling Gamble a fixer for Tinseltown's elite. The connections in this industry are wild. It's like playing 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, except it's 3 degrees to someone who's seen Diddy do something sketchy. Trying to unravel these relationships and alleged cover-ups is enough to make your head spin. To give you the whole picture, Kim Porter's family has consistently shut down any talk of foul play. Her kids, Christian, 26, Jesse, 17, Delilah, 17, and Quincy, 33, put out a statement in September 2024 saying their mom's death was natural and calling out claims about her writing a tell-all book as straight-up lies. But then, in 2024, a book called Kim's Lost Words, A Journey for Justice from the Other Side popped up, claiming to be based on Kim's diaries. Published by Chris Todd under the name Jamal T. Millwood, it accuses Diddy of all kinds of shocking behavior, including abusing Kim. In an interview with The Art of Dialogue, Todd claimed he's got tapes that could bring Hollywood to its knees if they ever got out. That's like holding the nuclear codes to the entertainment industry. It's a serious power move, but the book's legitimacy is under fire. Kim's kids say it's fake, and plenty of folks question Todd's motives and credibility. Still, the growing pile of allegations against Diddy is painting a dark picture. The most damning evidence we've got so far is about Diddy's ex, Cassie Ventura. A 2016 surveillance video from a Los Angeles hotel, leaked by CNN, shows Diddy attacking Cassie, grabbing her, shoving her, dragging her, and kicking her. It's hard to watch. Diddy couldn't dodge this one. He put out an apology saying, "What I did in that video is unforgivable. I'm ashamed of myself now, just like I was then."
My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now.
Let's keep it real. When someone who's built their whole brand on being smooth and in control gets caught on camera beating a woman, that's not just a bad moment. It's a mask slipping, revealing something much uglier. Cassie's lawsuit and testimony describe years of physical and sexual abuse, including being forced into acts she didn't want, and an alleged rape in August 2018. Her story is heartbreaking and chilling. I need to address something heavy here. The case talks about freak-offs, alleged private parties where explicit stuff went down, and consent was shaky at best. Cassie said she felt like a sex worker at these events, a statement that was later struck from the court record. It makes you wonder, if Diddy was capable of this with Cassie, what might have happened with Kim Porter? Other witnesses, like Dawn Richard, a singer who worked with Diddy, testified that he threatened to make her disappear after she saw him assault Cassie. This backs up claims of witness intimidation and a pattern of control. Regina Ventura, Cassie's mom, also testified, corroborating the abuse allegations. She said she was physically sick over Diddy's threats to harm her daughter and release compromising material. She even took photos of bruises on Cassie's body from Christmas Eve 2011, which she says came from Diddy's beatings. The evidence is stacking up. It's like trying to hide an elephant under a tissue. Let's circle back to Kim Porter specifically. Beyond the official cause of death and the conflicting stories from those who knew her, there's this mysterious book that supposedly contains her words. According to Todd, it claims Diddy was physically abusive to Kim, including an incident where he allegedly broke her nose on a yacht. Mark Curry, a former Bad Boy artist, backed this up, saying, "They tried to spin it like she slipped and fell, but the truth is she fell into his fist." Curry also alleged Diddy wiretapped Kim's phone, calling it a sign of obsessive control. Imagine being so fixated on someone that you bug their phone to monitor their every word. That's not love, that's straight up villain behavior from a psychological thriller. The alleged book also claims Kim found disturbing videotapes in Diddy's bedroom vault, showing compromising content. She was reportedly so shocked that she made copies of the tapes as a safeguard in case she ever left him. If true, that's explosive. It's like finding out your ex kept a diary of your worst secrets and made backups. The power dynamics there are chilling. More witnesses have come forward about Diddy's alleged abuse toward Kim. The current legal case against him provides crucial context. As of May 20th, 2025, Diddy's on trial for sex trafficking, racketeering conspiracy, and transportation for prostitution. These aren't small charges. We're talking life in prison if he's convicted. The trial's in its second week, and the testimony has been intense. Cassie took the stand for 4 days, sharing emotional details of years of beatings and coerced intimate acts. The courtroom was dead silent as she spoke. You could hear a pin drop as jurors hung on her every word. Let's talk about the power dynamics here. Diddy signed Cassie to Bad Boy Records when she was just 19, a young artist under the thumb of a major industry player. She testified that the abuse stopped her from pursuing her dreams, and she needed 45 days of PTSD treatment in early 2023, including specialized therapy to cope with the trauma. Imagine your entire career being controlled by someone who's also abusing you behind closed doors. It's like being stuck in a maze where every path leads back to your abuser. The psychological toll is brutal. Prosecutors are using RICO charges against Diddy, suggesting his alleged abuse wasn't just isolated incidents, but part of a broader criminal pattern. This raises serious questions about his relationships with other women, including Kim Porter. Remember Mark Curry's claim about Diddy breaking Kim's nose? That's not just a one-off accusation. It hints at a cover-up, and where there's one cover-up, there could be more. Gene Deal, the former bodyguard, also alleged that Kim once injured Diddy with a corkscrew in self-defense, which he says led to Diddy's opioid abuse. He claimed when she cut his wrist open, he was in so much pain he never got off those drugs. If true, this paints a picture of a relationship where violence was normalized to the point that self-defense with a weapon was necessary. That's not a healthy dynamic. That's survival mode. Deal also questioned the circumstances of Kim's death, noting there was no autopsy, her devices were missing, and a gold casket was ordered quickly. He asked, "How do you order a gold casket 2 months before someone dies?" Albee, sure, went further, calling for a formal investigation in September 2024, alleging that people around Kim's residence, including publicists, were involved in stealing her computer and phone, which supposedly held her book notes. This brings us to an important counterpoint. Kim's kids, Christian, Jesse, Delilah, and Quincy, have consistently denied any foul play in their mom's death. They said, "It's been tough to accept she was taken so soon, but the cause of her death is clear. There was no foul play." This creates a divide in the narrative. On one side, you've got former associates making serious claims. On the other, Kim's own children are defending the official story and asking for peace. It's complicated because Diddy raised these kids after Kim's death. Christian, Jesse, and Delilah are his biological children, and he adopted Quincy, Kim's son, with Al B. Sure, that dynamic makes their defense of Diddy trickier to unpack. Let's dive into another disturbing angle: the alleged tapes mentioned in Kim's supposed memoir. According to reports, Kim found videotapes in Diddy's vault showing explicit encounters with various people. Attorney Ariel Mitchell Kidd claimed there are 3 explosive tapes involving Diddy and A-list celebrities. In an interview, she said, "I was recently contacted about representing someone trying to sell one of these tapes." She added that tapes are already circulating in Hollywood, including one with a figure more high profile than Diddy. If these exist, they could explain why some in Hollywood might have protected Diddy or covered up his alleged misdeeds.
I also was just recently contacted by someone who wanted me to essentially represent them in the sale of one of the Diddy tapes. There already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood. Mr. Combs was in the tape, and this other person is, I would venture to say, more high profile than Mr. Combs.
It's like an insurance policy. If I go down, I'm taking everyone with me. Speaking of cover-ups, a March 25th, 2024 raid on Diddy's Miami Beach home by Homeland Security Investigations turned up lingerie, platform heels, AR-15 parts, and loaded magazines with scratched out serial numbers. The property was so massive, 20,000 square feet, that it took 80 to 90 agents to search it. This shows the kind of resources Diddy had at his disposal: huge properties, security teams, and enough influence to potentially manipulate situations. Diddy's lawyers admit he's got a temper, but argue his actions with exes like Cassie were part of consensual, if messy, relationships, not sex trafficking or racketeering. But with multiple women telling similar stories and video evidence of assault, that defense is looking shaky. Back to the freak-offs mentioned in Cassie's testimony, these alleged private gatherings involved explicit activities where boundaries were crossed and consent was questionable. Cassie said she felt like a sex worker at these events. The supposed memoir claims Kim described similar gatherings, saying Diddy's parties were elaborate, intimate affairs that everyone wanted into. She allegedly detailed encounters with other celebrities, including a notable married woman. Then there's the financial side. Cassie settled a lawsuit against Diddy for $20 million and another with the hotel for $10 million over the 2016 assault. That's serious money. Most people will never see that in a lifetime. It raises questions about what else Diddy might have paid to keep quiet, but some suggest his money won't save him this time, as he's allegedly being targeted by people with more resources and a personal vendetta against him. The entertainment industry has an ugly history of ignoring misconduct by powerful figures. Think Harvey Weinstein or R. Kelly. Diddy's influence went beyond music into fashion, liquor, TV, and more. He had ties to celebrities, moguls, even politicians. That kind of power creates a shield, making it hard for victims to speak out. If you're an up-and-coming artist and you see or experience something shady involving Diddy, who do you tell? The label execs who work with him, the media who need his access, the friends on his yacht. The system protects the powerful, not the vulnerable. Then there's the lawsuit that might have sparked Diddy's downfall. According to 50 Cent, Diddy's legal troubles ramped up after he sued Diageo, a major liquor company, in May 2023, claiming racial discrimination. He said they neglected his Ciroc vodka and De Leon tequila brands, favoring others and limiting where his products were sold. Diageo ended their 15-year partnership with Diddy in June 2023, citing his bad faith actions. Diddy filed another lawsuit in October 2023, accusing Diageo of retaliation and blackballing him. By January 2024, they settled, with Diddy withdrawing his claims. 50 Cent suggested on the Earn Your Leisure podcast that going after Diageo, a corporate giant, might have cost Diddy the protection his status once afforded. It's like he challenged the wrong player, and the shield came down. Another voice in this saga is Jaguar Wright, who's claimed Diddy might be linked to the deaths of close associates like Kim Porter, Heavy D, and Andre Harrell. She pointed out, Kim's gone, Heavy D's gone, Andre's gone. The only ones left are Puffy and Al B, sure, who almost died. She noted Heavy D and Andre Harrell, who died in 2011 and 2020 reportedly from heart attacks, were allegedly working on books before their deaths. Al B, sure, also reportedly fell into a coma while writing a book, but survived survived. Kim, some claim, was also working on a tell-all. Is this just a string of tragic coincidences, or is something darker at play? It's the kind of pattern that makes you start pinning threads on a conspiracy board. If we look at Diddy's alleged behavior, physical abuse, control, threats, it raises questions about his relationship with Kim Porter and her death. They'd ended their romantic relationship years before she passed, but they were still connected through their kids. If these allegations are true, it suggests Diddy didn't let people walk away easily. The disputed memoir claims Kim wrote about doing things with Diddy she'd never have done with a straight man and witnessing him with a chart-topping rapper and a married woman. It also alleges physical abuse, like Diddy hitting her for refusing his requests and slamming her to the ground while threatening her with a weapon, saying, "You're mine, you don't have a choice." These claims mirror Cassie's testimony and raise questions about what Kim might have known or planned to reveal. This case is peeling back the curtain on the music industry's dark side, how power is abused, victims are silenced, and public images hide ugly truths. Diddy, the Bad Boy Records mogul, is now far from the spotlight, locked up at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center, MDC. Facing charges of racketeering and exploitation, his glamorous life is gone, replaced by prison's harsh realities. From struggling with prison food to being on suicide watch, these details are reshaping how people see the once untouchable music icon. Diddy's time behind bars at MDC Brooklyn, a notorious federal facility, is a stark contrast to his old life. Known for housing high-profile inmates, MDC has faced criticism for poor conditions and inadequate medical care. Diddy, used to luxury, is now waking up at 6 a.m. for cereal, fruit, toast, and a breakfast cake. Nothing like the gourmet meals he once enjoyed. Lunch at 11 a.m. and dinner after the 4 p.m. head count include things like Swedish meatballs or black bean burgers with egg noodles and green beans. His lawyer, Mark Agnafilo, said the food is the toughest part of his incarceration. Imagine going from fine dining to bland, low-nutrient prison meals. It's a shock. Former inmates describe the food as monotonous, processed, and unhealthy, which hits hard for someone like Diddy, who's health conscious. Beyond food, MDC's conditions are rough: overcrowded cells, little privacy, and limited mental health support. For Diddy, navigating a high-stakes legal battle, this adds to the mental strain. The facilities housed figures like Ghislaine Maxwell and R. Kelly, and reports describe violence, unsanitary conditions, and understaffing. There have been stabbings, maggots in food, and at least 4 suicides in the past 3 years, plus a murder this summer. Diddy's legal team is desperate to get him out, citing concerns for his safety and mental health. He was placed on suicide watch, signaling serious distress. His team proposed a $50 million bond, secured by his and his mother's Florida homes, noting he surrendered his passport and those of his daughters and mother. But U.S. Magistrate Judge Robin Tarnowski denied bail, citing prosecutors' arguments that Diddy's a community risk who could tamper with witnesses or commit further crimes. They pointed to his alleged substance misuse and anger issues, backed by testimony from dozens of witnesses and victims, plus electronic evidence from Diddy's devices and those of his alleged co-conspirators. His wealth and influence, they argued, make him a flight risk. Diddy's family showed up in force at the Manhattan Federal Courthouse, filling 2 rows in a display of solidarity. His twin daughters, Delilah and Jessie, both 17, walked in hand in,